Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Soul Expression. I really hope you're doing well and being safe. And I want to talk to you today about the number one necessity for surviving these crazy times that we all find ourselves in. So I'm going to take you over here to my laptop, and I got a little presentation prepared for you guys, and I really hope you enjoy it. So let's dive right in. I want to tell you about how we're all evolving in the face of this adversity and how to tap into this rapid evolution for yourself so that you too may reap the benefits of a better life. If I haven't given you a clear way to evolve your state of being without stressing yourself out or stretching yourself thin by the end of this video, then you can send me a box of roaches, okay? I am not here to waste any of our time because I have something powerful to share. I am in Texas in the United States right now, and things are looking a little bonkers, right? Like all around the world, people are being affected in various ways that aren't necessarily favorable for the human race. But I'm here to tell you, there is a silver lining. To properly illustrate this silver lining that we all can use to better ourselves in this time of great fear and uncertainty, I want to tell you a quick story about myself. You see, I remember a time when I thought my world was ending because of a heartbreak I was going through. I know this doesn't affect the whole entire world, but it affected my entire life. And I felt like all the walls in my world were crashing down around me. But it was out of this tragedy that I was able to gain the three greatest tools in the universe for changing one's life and making your dreams come true. You want to know what these tools are? Okay, the first tool I gained in the midst of this heartbreak is called a burning desire. Now, that may sound like something everyone has, and that may be right, but I became so familiar with amplifying this desire in me that it grew to be a force that I lived through. A burning desire is described in one of the greatest written books of all time, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, as the first step to any major success. My desire was specific, visualized, and acted on nonstop until I achieved it. But the crazy thing is it took me over 3 years to actualize this desire. This led me to the second of the three greatest tools in the universe, perseverance. One thing I learned very clearly when I finally got the desire is that there is a direct link between perseverance and major achievement. I somehow knew but couldn't explain in words that if I wasn't made to persevere, I wouldn't have gotten as much of a reward from my desire when I finally got it as I did. You see what I mean, right? Like, I knew but didn't know how that without being tested along the way, I wouldn't have appreciated the precious gift that walked into my life in the form of exactly what I was working and praying for. I was tested over and over and over again on this journey with failure, doubt, moments of indecision, fear, people telling me I should give up, the whole 9 yards. But my desire was stronger than my reason to quit, and so I persevered, and eventually got exactly what I was working so hard and long for. Now I can say that I'm thankful that life tested me in this way. I can truly say that. And I can say that because it was through the tests that I got the third of the three greatest tools in the universe. You want to know what that is? Faith in myself. Now, when we hear the word faith, I know most people think of religion, and that's fine. But when I use the word faith in this story, I simply am talking about an inner knowing that says everything will eventually be exactly what I want it to be. Get what I'm saying? My faith in my own ability to bring into my life the object of my burning desire with my willingness to use the emotion of faith to fuel my perseverance were the three perfect ingredients for my and countless others' success. Makes sense, right? Now I'm sure you're wondering, what exactly was my desire? What was I working to get after that heartbreak over 3 years prior? The answer is my wife. Her name is Tensi, and together we run the company called Ufulu Child. Ufulu means freedom, and that is exactly what we aim to unlock within any and everybody we happen to interact with. I started this video saying that I wanted to share with you the number one necessity for surviving in this crazy time, and I intend to do just that. And if you stick around until the end of this video, I'm going to give you the incredible secret that I discovered about a year after me and my wife got married. Is that okay with you? I've broken down the number one necessity into 3 secrets that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. And by the time we get through the 3rd and last secret, you'll know exactly what the number one necessity is and how to apply it to your own life. I promise. Does that sound good? Oh, and a quick announcement before I get into that. We're actually holding an online midday reset retreat called Ufulu Child Align, where you'll have a chance to really stick this valuable information into your mind and habits. But more on that later. Okay, awesome. So the first secret is you don't have to work harder externally in order to have more favorable situations and a better life. You only need a few good habits and a willingness to let go of some bad habits. And we all have a few bad habits. Come on. One of my favorite quotes in the world that I have and continue to apply to my own life goes like this. When you change the way you see things, the things you see will change. This obviously means that if the attitude you hold towards the world around you were to change, then the way the world operates and treats you will also change. But it's also simpler than that. You see, I've learned it also means that you have the power to literally change things around you by changing your mind. I know that may sound a little far out, but it's the God's honest truth. And the best way to change the way you see things is to create new habits of thought and actions. Have you ever heard of Oprah Winfrey? Okay, I'm sure you have. But do you know that she started changing the way she saw things from a far less favorable place than you're probably at right now? You see, growing up, she did not come from a loving home or a rich family or a very supportive environment. And as a victim of so many abuses, Oprah had every reason to create negative habits of thought. She was told time and time again that she would inevitably end up living the same life that she saw her neighbors and family members living. Poor. But something was different about Oprah. She decided to change the way she saw her life turning out, from the grim and melancholy picture given to her by the people surrounding her childhood and teenage years, into a vision she could be proud of. Oprah joined a speech team in high school, won 2nd place in the nation for dramatic interpretation, studied communications at Tennessee State, and got a part-time job reporting the news during her college years. Do you see how this train of events would only be possible for someone with a clear way of seeing their future? Someone who knew where they were going? She was not simply allowing circumstances to shift her mind away from her vision and desire every time she was met with challenges. And believe you me, she was met with challenges. But the mental habits she created for herself would not let her be defeated. From there, she eventually became a television personality and started on a journey that would one day far surpass her wildest dreams and make her the icon she is today. Of course, there's much more to her story, but my point here is that this was all made possible by her determination to create good habits of thought in her mind and persevere through any failures or temporary defeats she may meet along the way. If Oprah can come from poverty and an abusive childhood situation and become what she is today, then I believe you can also make your mark on the world, once you know what habits will best suit your desires, of course. So if becoming who you want to be, and even surpassing it, is as easy as creating good mental habits, Why is it that so many of us seem stuck under a glass ceiling of achievement? To answer this question, I must tell you that there is something in your brain called neuroplasticity. This means that there is a mechanical process in your brain that locks patterns of thought that can sometimes be very hard to notice and even more difficult to change if you don't know how. This means that many of us don't even know we have bad mental habits, even though we repeat these habits thousands of times a day. But don't fret, there is a proven way to get around this barrier, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that is in this video. So stick around just a little bit longer. Cool? Cool. The second secret to break down is actually directly related to avoiding the stagnation created by neuroplasticity. And as a yoga and meditation coach, I have had the privilege of working with many people on becoming aware of and tweaking their mental habits, and I've become quite good at it. Did you know that there is a big myth going around about yoga and meditation that seems to make it impossible for people to get and stay consistent with their practice? The myth is yoga and meditation are supposed to bring you into a state of perfect peace by themselves. The worst part is that many people believe if they don't reach that state of mind, then that means they're doing yoga and meditation the wrong way. This couldn't be further from the truth. Yoga and meditation don't bring you into a state of mind. They support you on a journey to creating good mental habits. That's it. That's literally it. You're not supposed to use yoga and meditation as a roadmap to nirvana. You're supposed to use them as tools to help you read the real roadmap clearly and to stay on the real road to that state of mind without deviating. The real roadmap is your vision. The real road is your habits. So you don't have to use force to change anything about your habits physically. All you have to do is change the way you think and align your mind with your vision for your lifestyle. So the second secret is your mental habits shape your physical ones, and there is a way to optimize them to create the lifestyle you want without stressing yourself out about your schedule. Most people tell me that the biggest problem they face with yoga and meditation is staying consistent. Have you ever said this or heard someone say this? Consistency. It's like the number one problem. Well, one day I really wanted to know, why was this the struggle? And after countless conversations with friends, students, and some independent research, I kept noticing that people had that wrong idea about what yoga and meditation is that I mentioned earlier. So I had an idea to try and find a way to show people that the resistance they feel when they choose to delay their practice is not due to yoga not providing the healing or the peace that it promises. The resistance is simply a mental habit, which is easily overcome when you know what it really is for yourself. I remember a few years back, my wife Tensi struggling with consistency in her own yoga practice for a little while, around the same time that I began to understand this stuff. She would come out from our room, look at her yoga mat, distract herself with unnecessary activities until it was time to go to work or leave somewhere, come back home, look at her yoga mat, and eventually go back into our room without practicing. She told me about this habit one day, and we talked about how it wasn't that she didn't get anything from her practice. She actually loved the feeling that she got after a yoga session. She simply was just always finding ways to delay and delay and delay her practice for no apparent reason. So I told her that it was because she had accidentally locked into her mind the pattern of habitually avoiding yoga because of what she thought yoga was supposed to do. and that if she wanted to change this pattern of behavior, she didn't need to focus on forcing herself to do yoga physically, but instead force herself to think about yoga in a different way. So we devised a perfect solution, a decree. We call it the Freedom Decree. And what it is the perfect way to rework the way you see and think about something you want to do in your daily routine. When you create a Freedom Decree, you are creating the building blocks for new mental habits. Tensi had already planned on doing yoga on a regular basis, so scheduling had really nothing to do with the real reason she didn't stay consistent. When the Freedom Decree was created and applied, the way that she thought about doing yoga changed, and as a result, her physical habits began to reflect that positive change. From there, she began to see yoga as a tool to help her build better mental habits, and not merely a tool to help her look better or be a better person. She was already a great person. Point is, when she changed the way she saw it, she related her yoga practice to every other aspect in her life. Because you don't do anything in life without thinking. So since yoga was now a tool to help with thinking, then it became a tool to help with everything. Make sense? Before long, Tensi was back to a level of consistency that she was very comfortable with. And again, this is not due to forcing a schedule and being very aggressive with her physical self, but instead a simple tweak to the way she saw the whole picture. Now she practices daily and has a whole new outlook on how to help others get and remain consistent as well. Isn't that amazing? Imagine if you took notice to the way you saw your own yoga or meditation practice and didn't have to use force to align your thoughts with your vision for that practice. How would you feel? Now imagine if you could do something similar and just as simple with all your desires. Well, I'm telling you that you can, and you'll know exactly how to do so if you stay till the end of this video. There's just one more secret I have to break down with you guys before it will all make sense to you. We've come a long way together, and I truly appreciate you for sticking it out with me. And so I have some more valuable information for you before we move on to the conclusion, all right? Thanks. So many of us have adopted the belief that the life we want to be living is so far from our grasp. To me, this is such a preposterous thought because the fact that we want to be living it means we have a clear enough vision of it within our minds to desire it. The last secret that I have to share with you is that your vision is yours because it was given to you from a power higher than yourself. Now, I don't want to get too spooky or far out for this one, but I need you to know that it's true. Your vision didn't pop into your mind because your mind wanted to tease you or torture you with something you can never have. No matter how big your dreams are, they are your dreams for a reason. They can be your reality. The best example of this that I can think of is a woman named Sonya Barrett. Her story totally changed my life, and hopefully my retelling of some parts of it will change yours as well. Sonya was once rendered homeless with children after leaving an abusive marriage. This led her to one day discovering in line at a food bank that the people around her at the food bank all seemed a little too comfortable living in poverty. This was one of the moments that she decided to think differently than one would expect her to think as it pertains to her life. She didn't turn her nose up at impoverished people, but for her, that lifestyle was completely unacceptable. One day, she was finally able to get an apartment, and even though she knew nothing of spirituality and hippie life, she would sit down and train her mind to be still. She decided that she was not going to give any power to what the five sensory data in her current situation was giving her, and instead, she would take time to quiet her mind and not accept any thoughts of poverty. I'm not sure if she was necessarily practicing a lot of visualization, but she has made it clear in her stories that she would not accept anything that suggested to her she was poor. This included the various utility and car bills that she received in the mail. She would get the mail, bills would go unpaid, and she would sit and simply not accept any thoughts or things that told her she was somehow living in poverty. One day, something amazing started to happen. As she sat and her mind became very quiet, her hands and arms began to move on their own. And she said she began receiving insights into the truth of the world we live in. She learned by sitting and receiving insights from a supremely quiet place that the human story most people live is simply a set of programmed responses to pleasure and pain, and that it is completely possible for anyone to rewrite their own inner programs. She soon would go and begin experimenting with life based on this new knowledge that she received during her quiet sitting time. Some examples of her experiments with life included going to the store with a credit card that had no money on it, and when it was declined, she would simply ask the clerk, "Swipe it again." And then somehow the card would pay for the food. This really happened. Another example is that one of her utility bills was hundreds and hundreds of dollars overdue and being threatened to be shut off. And one day, she decided to go ahead and give the utility company a call. And the person at the utility company completely surprised her when she said, "Hello? We've made a mistake and sent you the wrong bill. We're sorry and we'll reset your account shortly. Have a nice day." Wow. And all of this due to her changing the way she thought and not accepting what she was expected to accept. Now, the point here is definitely not to encourage you to try and do what Sonya did, but to show you that there is no reality of circumstance that you are bound to or stuck underneath. You have the power to live exactly the life you want to live by changing your mental habits. All it takes is a freedom decree, faith in your own ability, and perseverance with new habits. There are no opportunities that come without problems, but there are no problems that come without opportunity. And your new opportunity is to find out for yourself in your own life the power behind a slight tweak in your mental habits mixed with a little faith and perseverance. So there you have it. The number one necessity to surviving these times of great fear and uncertainty: new mental habits. Now, let me ask you a question. If there was an opportunity for you to put all of this juicy information to use in your own life with ease and without the need to drastically change your schedule or take a huge risk with your wallet, would you want to take it? I hope your answer is yes, because that's exactly what I'm prepared to offer you here. Allow me to introduce to you a first-of-its-kind online retreat experience. Ufulu Child Align, the only virtual midday reset retreat that will have you come as you are and leave with new habits to form, a freedom decree outlining your commitment to those habits, affirmations to support you on your journey to changing the way you see things, a proven self-confidence formula that will train your mind to only accept what you tell it to, and a 60-minute yoga session serving as your first step toward being consistent in your at-home yoga practice. If you don't mind, I just want to go over all the amazing parts of this online retreat because it literally knocks down all the barriers between you and the lifestyle you want to be living. So is that cool? Awesome. So the first experience we have set up is a freedom intention session with Tensi of Ufulu Child. Here, you will align your intention with your highest vision as you create your very own freedom decree and solidify your desires and commit. You will develop a practical, customized, daily power-up statement that will consciously and subconsciously motivate you to remain committed to your goals, as well as spell out your daily commitments to yourself. This is your start to the development of good mental habits that will reshape your environment for you into what you want them to look like. Isn't that amazing? Cool. So the second thing you'll experience in this retreat is a 60-minute comedic yoga flow. This will serve as your consistency kickstart when it comes to your yoga and meditation practice at home, okay? It is the perfect excuse to get serious about doing yoga at home. For one, the instructor, Jill, is a master instructor who has been studying the deepest healing aspects of this ancient form of yoga for over a decade. In her class, you will experience guided meditation in motion, cultivation of energy, discovery, grace, poise, patience, intensity, endurance, and dexterity for a total mind, body, and soul experience. For two, you'll be doing yoga in your house. So of course, you'll be able to consider this session day number 1 of your consistent practice and commit to getting to day number 365. Remember, the hardest step to take on any journey is always the first step, and we will practically take that step with you. So are you getting excited just thinking about this? I know I am. So not only are you going to create your own freedom decree, but you're also going to take the first step in cultivating consistency in your at-home yoga and meditation practice. But that's not all. Next, you're going to get hit with a creativity session where you'll get to get into the groove of your spiritual rhythm. Here, you will align your creativity with healing hip-hop affirmations that will support you on your freedom journey to self-mastery. You will also get a nice break and enjoy a performance of healing hip-hop music by Ufulu Child. Sounds fun, don't it? It's going to be awesome! You're going to get your own freedom decree, which is your commitment to good mental habits and a daily plan to actualizing them, a yoga session with a master instructor, which will serve as your first day of fully committing to your at-home practice, further solidifying those good mental habits, and affirmations written to the beat of your heart's drum that will keep your spirit lifted. But believe it or not, that's not even all that we have for you at this amazing online event. Are you ready to hear what else we got in store? Great, because I'm ready to tell you. So next, you're going to get to align your heart with spirit cleansing Tibetan singing bowl sound baths, featuring the soul-soothing voice of Tensi and another guided meditation that will lift all the weight from your heart. You will walk away from this event as a totally new and improved version of yourself. We can guarantee that, because not only are you getting a freedom decree, a kickstart to your consistent at-home yoga and meditation practice with an amazing master instructor, Jill, hip-hop affirmations to lift your spirit, and a soul-cleansing sound bath, the last piece of absolute greatness that you will experience in this awesome retreat is a first-of-its-kind mind mastery session led by yours truly, Soul Expression of Ufulu Child. This will change everything. Have you ever wanted to just hang out with a flock of birds and ask them, "What's heaven like?" Well, we will show you exactly how to activate your own wings, the wings of your mind and spirit, and soar far above adversity and any defeat. Call it impossible. We call it living. A power hour of discussion and mind-opening question and answer, which will motivate you to new levels of self-reliance and achievement. The words, the vibe, the insights into the nature of the universe, all will inspire and ignite a fire within you. Did I mention that this will work with any and everybody's schedule, even if you have 11 kids running around your house all day? As a thank you to you for sticking with me for this long, I'm going to give you 72-hour access to all of the sessions and all of the resources of Ufulu Child Align. You will have direct access to coaches that will answer any questions and help you push through any barriers you meet during the retreat. And as a bonus, you're going to get lifetime access to the Freedom Tribe community, which is a place where you can share your progress, be held accountable, and get into the groove of your freedom lifestyle. So you're probably wondering, what does a virtual retreat with all of this included cost? And if you've been watching this video up until now, I know you must be interested in getting started immediately, so I won't waste your time with some lousy pitch. There's simply no reason for you not to click the link and sign up right now. So I'll just tell you straight up. The price is only $57 per person, or $27 if you purchase more than one ticket at a time. Yup, you'll get all of this value in one 3-hour online retreat for just $27 when you bring a friend. The best part is, the first 3 people who respond to this message by liking Ufulu Child on Facebook and messaging us with the message Align for free will get free access to the entire event. Yes, we have 3 free tickets, so hurry up and go like Ufulu Child on Facebook now, and then message us with the message Align for free to claim your spot. If you're too late for that, we would still just love to connect with you, and you can just get your ticket through the normal means. Now, I can't express how grateful I am that you've come this far with me. And one more wrap up of all the amazing things you're going to get when you sign up for Ufulu Child Align today. You're going to get your freedom decree and solidify exactly what you want from life and exactly what you're committed to do mentally and physically every day to get it. Then you'll spend time with the master instructor, Jill, for an incredible yoga session that will serve to kickstart your at-home practice and give you a head start on your journey to consistency. Then you'll get to create some awesome hip-hop affirmations that will uplift your spirit and get you inspired to keep your spirit high every time you say them. You'll get to see Ufulu Child perform their own hip-hop healing music. Then you'll get to relax into a soothing sound bath with singing bowls and Tensei's amazing voice with a guided meditation. And finish the day off with a first of its kind mind mastery class with me. I can't wait to see you all there. Peace and love.